And we are live. Hello, everybody. Let's see,
Yeah.
December 14th. I got Jacob, and we have Mike tonight. So everybody say hello to Mike.
I made it.
Hi, Mike. Like fucking AA.
All right.
I'm telling you.
It's like, wait, where'd he go? What's going on? Nope. So he's here.
Hello, my name's Michael.
Oh, let's see here. So yeah. So tonight, first, definitely like, share, definitely share this out to anybody and everybody.
Share.
Go to YouTube. The YouTube link is listed
Don't
for
share
you.
it to Tommy, any of Tommy's pages.
Oh God, why is that?
He put up a bunch of stuff about people not sharing unless it's more related.
Oh, okay. So yeah, don't do it on Tommy's pages. Tommy will do it himself, I'm sure.
We are more related.
Ish.
We're more related. Which, since we're talking about more, go to motherofallrallies.com. Check it out. More 2019, September 29th, if I'm right. I don't have the page up here.
The 8th or 9th, yeah. I was just, gosh, what is it? Yeah, because I was just looking at my...
28th. It is
28th.
September
Okay.
28th.
Okay. So go check it out.
I gotta figure out my vacation in the summer. That's right when we take vacation.
Oh, not. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I've already got allotted time set up for that weekend. I started working on all my PTO time I was working on, and I was like, well, while I'm at it, let's just go ahead and put my more stuff in now. So
Might as
Yeah,
well.
I got a list because we're only allowed to do the first week, the week's vacation. Then we can do the rest of the time.
oh, nice.
So I've got a list. I've already put in the week. Now I've got a list.
Cool.
No, yeah, I had to use up the rest of my for this year too, so I have all of Christmas off and half of the New Year week off. So, but yeah, so what was it? You wanted to hit more on the red flag laws, right there, Jacob?
Oh, I ain't just hitting on it. We talking about it.
We're talking about it.
We talking about it. That's what we talking about.
Let's talk.
Let's
Let's
talk. Is it
have
going
a
to be talk?
conversation.
Is it really going to be
Hi,
talk?
my name's Jake.
Yeah, let me talk.
Oh my God, can I speak?
Oh boy.
Yes, please do.
All right.
Yes.
That's all I'm seeing lately. I mean, is that what you guys are seeing? Facebook feed, freaking most major news outlets are screaming about the red flag laws and the passing of them. You've got our current sitting governor screaming, "I'm not passing anything that, lessens the penalty for somebody owning a gun, but by God, I'm going to pass a red flag law."
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think he'll get. I don't think he's going to get much traction being on his way out. Other than stopping stuff that would, that's important to us, but I don't think he's going to get anything else passed.
well,
He's what? How many weeks away from being done? I mean, he's not going to get anything done. I mean, they've got to be going. They've got to be going on vacation soon, right?
I think next week they go on vacation. At least the Senate does. From what they were supposed to try to squeeze that. What was it? I don't remember the House bill amendment they were trying to throw in there, but they ended up screwing
House
up.
Bill 142.
Yes, they ended up just screwing that one all up. That ain't happening now. So
Right.
any part of that ain't happening now.
They wind up, so how did that? Because I didn't catch up yet. So what did they wind up? I saw some of it on Ohio gun rights and.
Yeah, Ohio.
I never got to read the whole thing.
Yeah, Ohio gun owners, they were really hoping and that they had added the duty to retreat to 142.
Right.
And then but they were wondering, they were like, well, how's that even going to work? Because even if they pass it through the Senate, it's got to run back through the House. Then the governor's going to have to veto it because anything to do, he says he's going to veto. And then they were going to have enough time for them to have a veto override hearing.
Right.
and I don't what did they did something. I think they ended up just pulling it back off the law, but I think they completely just destroyed the bill altogether, if I remember correctly. If anybody else that's in any of the chats
So
seen,
basically, as usual, they did nothing.
correct.
All right, cool. All right.
Well, so we
What's
basically have
illegal
gotten
then?
nothing as gun owners. We have gotten nothing out of this House and Senate this year.
We've got nothing out of even as much as I love Trump, we've got nothing out of him as far as 100% backing on anything either.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, nobody in government currently seems to be on our side. I'll give we were talking just before the air. I get what Jacob's talking about. I mean, yeah, nobody seems to be on our side, although some just seem to not be saying anything.
Well, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of liking about, and I'll endorse them myself, and not endorse them, but I will talk nice about them right now. Ohio Gun Owners has really brought open the idea of this backroom bullcrap that they're doing, so that nobody's name goes on a vote for no against gun owners.
Right.
So they keep doing all these backroom deals to screw stuff up, so that the Republicans that want to vote no don't have to, so that they can keep their A rating with, Buckeye Firearms and stuff like that, so that they can, get those voters when it comes time for next year. Or when the next
I'll tell you, that's an organization that's turned out to be kind of a little suspect lately.
Well, when the Jim Irvine, I'll call his name out. I don't care. I don't know the guy, but when he's caught.
Watch what you say. He might come after you.
Hey, so I'm okay. Well, I'll add this word in front of it. Allegedly, there's a picture of him moments before they screwed up House Bill 228 and removed the duty to retreat off of House Bill 228. He was, moments beforehand, was in a back room with the leadership of the Senate, making deals so that they could pull it off there, so Republicans wouldn't have to really, and Democrats wouldn't have to vote against their party.
I think right after that photo came up, I'm pretty sure I made the statement of watch for his name on a ballot coming soon.
Maybe. I do know that has been one of his goals, from what it sounds like. But he is definitely deeply in with, he's in with the House and the Senate on how he's one of the big voices for gun owners. Well, at least Buckeye Firearms, because, you got to pay. And that's the one thing for both groups. You got to pay to be a member of a group to support guns. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I know that it takes money for him to go down and stand at the House and the Senate hearings and spend all day down there. That takes some money. I understand that, but I don't know.
Almost got caught.
It's a cost to keep up with all the stuff. Because I mean, literally, the people passing these bills are making money.
Well, what?
Doing it.
Well, of course, that's
right.
And people like us, we're not making money to try to fight it.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Well, I mean, I think that's the difference. That obviously is, we're just citizens. We don't have any current goals of reaching office of any kind.
Right.
I sure not. I mean,
no,
that's
too much responsibility.
I'd love to get more influence in office.
Vote Mike Cosper for city mayor.
No,
I don't even want to be the freaking dog warden.
Oh, that's an awful lot of space up there.
Vote Mike Cosper for city mayor.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But no, I mean,
say no.
Yeah, just say no. But I mean, it's been kind of disappointing that we haven't gotten anything through, and we probably won't by the end of the year, because they will go on vacation. I haven't seen it. Still stuck on governor's desk. 228 is, it passed House, it passed Senate. It's sitting on his desk, and will he sign it?
Well, he's got to figure out how he wants to slide the red flag law in there.
Yeah, well, that he would have to run back through the House and
Well,
Senate
no,
again.
you know,
No. He's just trying to shove it right above it.
What he's trying to probably figure out is, when he runs, in 2 years, is it going to be as a Democrat or as a Republican? That's probably what he's waiting for.
Right. Like, well, wait, should I sign it? Should I not? I mean, I would really we're the only state left in the country that you are guilty and have to prove yourself innocent in the fact of, look, I was doing self-defense. You have to prove that in the state of Ohio. That's crap.
Right.
I should at least pass it on that now. The rest of the laws in there, or the rest of the things that were in there, aren't that big of changes. But that's a big one because, yeah, I mean, right now we're guilty of what is it? Manslaughter or something, or murder until we could prove that we were defending ourselves. Come on, that's craziness.
Which unfortunately, is why and until I went to that that gun thing, which one was it that Mike Eamon and I went to?
Yeah, the U.S. concealed carry thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned. I mean, I knew some of the stuff, but after listening to that lawyer, it's like, man, you're screwed.
Yeah, the lawyer out of Cleveland made you feel the same way because we went to the one up at the Parma Armory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I mean, and it was nice to actually, you go through the concealed carry course, you go through classes that are, guys, that go through the training to show you guns and what your background should be and, what you should be thinking about as a gun owner. But to actually get it from a lawyer who's been through it, who's gone through it's a little more of a rude awakening when you're like, because I know there's a few times that I puckered up a little bit when I was like, oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had to seriously start, plotting, okay, if I killed the guy here, where's my closest hog farm? Well, allegedly.
Yeah. U.S. Law Shield.
It's almost that ridiculous. I mean, you're almost better off running since, you're not, by the way, but that's the way they make you feel is like, you might as well not even have it. You might as well just, leave the gun at home because you ever use it, you're screwed anyways.
No, you know what, though? I'd rather be alive and in jail than not have it and dead because I didn't have it.
Yeah, I know the whole, judged by 12.
Well, not even that. I mean, there's some, you sit and you go through news stories about people that had their concealed carry and defended themselves or their family. Specifically Ohio, there's some people, man, they sit in jail. I mean, until it's time for, they don't let them out, and they put a huge thing on them so that they can't get out because they don't want you going anywhere. They're afraid you're going to run because you killed somebody, even though they were just defending themselves. And some people have gotten screwed even in that aspect of, that they were showed to be negligent in some way and had to spend time in jail.
Well, don't get me, and I carry, I happen to actually, work for a company that doesn't mind. I mean, I carry 24/7 basically. I carry all the time at work. So don't get me wrong. I mean, even though the guy kind of, put a little fear in me.
Oh, I still carry. Oh, yeah.
Deterred me.
Yeah.
I'm still carrying.
Yeah, you can.
Well, but we're having this discussion about fear and carrying, and you're talking just about carrying, let alone using.
Right.
With these red flag laws that everybody's screaming about and trying to push through.
It's even scarier.
There's a chance now that you can add on top of that the fact that you're carrying and someone thinks you're not doing the right thing. You could potentially have your door kicked in for somebody to come and confiscate your shit.
Right.
I mean, let's make it scary alone that if you use it in a self-defense situation, you could potentially go to jail for murder. Let's add the fact that if somebody just doesn't think you're right, they can come in, kick in your door, and take them. And if you do, clearly watch as many YouTube videos as you can, do the wrong thing, say the wrong words, or move in the wrong direction, you're not going to be breathing much longer if the law's standing in front of you.
Yeah, and there's already been one guy that's happened to.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
I don't know where you. I mean, and it's tough in this state. Currently, it's like who do you turn to? Because currently, most of the people in other than a few judges in my area, most of the politicians in the Northeast really don't care about what I have to say because it doesn't fit their agenda at all. Because
So are you saying they're non-representative?
of me currently, yes.
Okay, Roger. So what you're saying is they're kind of like, the people that we threw the tea in the harbor because they didn't represent us?
There appears to be some correlation. Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
just trying to catch a mental picture of what you're dealing with there.
Apparently, they have forgotten history as well.
Yeah.
Of course, it appears that France may be reminding a few people.
And it's a good reminder because it isn't just France now. Because I've been looking. Who else? Netherlands and there's a few countries over there now. Sweden, I know. A couple of cities in Sweden. Belgium, another one where they're having the yellow vest protests.
Really?
And they've already said the people that have been holding the protests in France, even though their government has been like, look, here, we'll give you this. We'll take away the tax. We'll hold it away for a while, even though they would like it to be gone for good.
Right.
They've started to add stuff to some of the public programs that they've been requesting, but they're still like, this isn't enough. You can expect this again this weekend. And I was trying to find live feeds before we jumped on. The one thing I hate about getting online when I get home is I only have so much time to see if there was any live feeds to see about seeing if they were running live, but I haven't found any yet. So
gotcha. Go ahead, Jacob. I saw you jumping up and down.
Well, I was going to say I already have a yellow vest. I got a yellow flag too. Can we do it with this?
Well, that was like.
Wait, should Heartland maybe invest in yellow vests?
Oh, I don't know.
Is this going to be a thing, or?
I'm pretty sure we can find us some.
Well, and in the last video when we were talking about
Menards
it,
has them.
Who has them? Menards? Yeah, let's go to
Menards.
Menards.
Has them.
None of those
Lowe's
other
has
anti-gun places. We'll go to Menards.
Well, I'm not going to admit Dick's.
No.
I'm just going to ask this question: At what point does that line become visible?
Which line?
When have they gone too? It's Friday night. When have they gone too fucking far?
Well,
When
right? That's the question.
When in the Netherlands? When in France? When did they decide? Now we need to revolt. Now we need to put forth the "we the people" concept. Have we not had enough rallies? Have we not had enough conversations? Have we not voiced our opinions enough? Is the fact that the Democrats got back control of the fucking House their telltale sign that we don't give a shit? We're going to go back to sleep now?
No,
Where does that line appear?
No, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if you can say. I mean, it's hard to say. When is when. I mean, I don't think. No, I do. Are we heading there currently on a faster pace than most of us would like? I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, my question, Mike, is it's kind of like this.
Then get to it, Dan.
Do we start revolting when gas is $6 a gallon?
Well, gas went
So
down.
if they just keep teetering between 5 and 3, we're good. When we're all happy when it's 2.
Well, and that's what they've been doing good.
I mean, gas is down to 2 here, so I don't know what you guys are doing down there.
Down to 2, maybe a $1.90
It's
something.
288. Nah. What I'm saying is, are the red flag laws? If they start enacting red flag laws all over the country, is that a spot where we can start going out on the weekends and putting the boot in the ass?
Well, yeah, I would say. Because here, okay, contrary to popular belief, you know, our founding fathers believed in laws.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't anarchists. You know, they knew that there had to be laws. You know, whether you want to call, I think common sense laws and all that are kind of a garbage term. But even our founding fathers, I can guarantee you, and I'd probably find it somewhere, didn't think that everybody should own a gun no matter what. You know,
Well,
I don't
course.
think there's, and like I've said this before, I have family members that should not own a firearm.
No.
I mean, no way, no how.
Yeah.
Because they should.
Okay, you make this statement. I as well, you actually know him, probably should never own a firearm in his existence. Now, are they clinically, have they seen psychiatric help?
Yes.
Do they have paperwork that state, no, you can't own a gun?
I don't know if they have paperwork that says no, but they should.
Okay.
At least my family members.
So in
should.
that aspect, there's already laws in place to prevent them owning guns.
Oh, agreed.
Correct.
We don't need a new law to fuck citizens over that are completely well within their legal, God-given right to own firearms to make everybody feel fucking good.
Oh, agreed.
We need to push the laws we have now.
That's where I'm at. Again, we go back to the initial question that I prompted. At what point does that line magically appear that the population of the United States looks at what's happening in the government and says that's too goddamn far?
Well,
We're going to
Well, I
put
think
vests
we're- I
on
think
and march on the Capitol.
Right. But I think we're, you know, shows like what we're, you know, and we're not as proactive as, you know, I'd like us to be, and that will change in time here. But I think there already are groups out there doing that. The SoCo Patriots in Colorado are a great example. They've been doing it for, you know, Major League Liberty. They've been doing it for probably about a year and a half, maybe two, maybe not quite. Maybe it's been only a year and a half. But they started out like us doing something simple like this. And then they got into a point where they actually had delegates at some of the primaries and stuff. So I think we have reached that point where groups like us and others are starting to speak out more for everyone to hear how we feel about what our government's trying to do, and we're not going to take it too kindly. So, I mean, I think we've already started expressing that. Now, whether anybody's listening to us,
Well, that's the other side of the coin. That's the other side of the coin. We can march all we want, but do they actually care?
what's the
That's
next?
the other.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
what's the next step?
and it's
That's where it gets dicey.
Well, here's where let's go back to the question for a second about that magical line that appears and makes us
Right.
go, oh, we should, you know, march on the Capitol. It's not. I think it's just going to be one of those things that everybody, and it's going to pull a lot of people together and a lot of groups that, you know, no, we're doing this, no, we're doing that, where everybody's going to get fed up, like these red flag laws. If they end up federally passing a red flag law, or all the states just get together and next year most of them end up passing it, people are going to end up dead. It's just, it's already shown that people are going to end up dead. And at some point, everybody's going to get fed up that, look, you guys are coming into our homes with no warrant. Haven't gone through due process to do anything other than to say you're going to take my property away from me, and I got to spend thousands of dollars to get it back.
So are you saying that we're ahead of our time? That the ones talking that this red flag law is unconstitutional and a direct infringement on the Second and Fifth Amendment
Oh, yeah.
are actually what you might classify as 3%?
Well, and, you know, the thing is more and more people are talking about it. And
I don't even know if it's, you know, I don't even know if it's 3%. I mean, I don't even know if that's. I mean, it's just.
It's a coin term.
No,
it's a coin term.
I know.
It might be 45.
Catchphrase.
It might be 45% of the population. I mean, when the 3% was a thing, you know, when it was legitimately 3%,
The original.
the population was a lot smaller. It was a lot smaller.
Agreed.
So, and they didn't have this thing we call the internet.
Yes, and a lot less of them had guns, you know.
Yeah.
Organized wise, you know.
So it may be closer to 45, maybe closer to 15. Hell, it might be, we might be 1%. Who knows? We're just talking numbers, you know.
Yeah. It doesn't.
25% of the time it works 100%. So
the whole 3% just has such a better ring, though.
yeah, it's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
And besides, Mike really is dying to put 3 eyes back on his shirt. Anyway.
Well,
so...
you know.
All I can say to it is it rubs me the wrong way. I myself
it does.
I myself have had people in my life accuse of something that it was proven completely false, that if a red flag law was what would have been there at that time, they would have come in my house, busted in my door, and ripped every gun out of my house, and probably laid waste to me and more in my house. Because
well, and that's
my household's not designed as the people in my house don't have an understanding of firearms or know what to do if someone busts into your house. So the likelihood of my children or my spouse having a stance similar to what we would, or the individual that has already proven that these can be very deadly, it probably would very, very, very easily end badly in a house like mine.
Right. Well, and let's take it even further. Here's always the problem with these red flag laws. Okay, so in my household, there are 2 people who own a lot of guns, and there's one who does not. In fact, she doesn't own a single one. What if she's the one they deem crazy? Does that mean they get to have mine and my son's guns too?
Yes.
Yes. I would assume yes.
Yes, they confiscate every gun in the house. Yes.
Right. And
I'm liking how now I'm reading some of these articles and they're stating that it's a temporary removal of the firearm.
Well, it is temporary, but it's only temporary and the length. They don't ever suggest a length of time it's temporary. It's when you prove you are competent enough to get those guns back, no matter how long it takes, and no matter how much money it takes.
You're guilty until proven innocent.
Right. Correct. It goes exactly back to where Jeremy started.
Well, shit, Ohio's already got this covered.
Right.
I mean, God.
Anyways. But yeah, I mean, but that's where, and you know, I'm not trying to argue against you about it with, you know, Jacob. No,
this is called a discussion, brother. This is what we do.
It is the big, you know, it's where they stop, and they've proven in the past that they don't stop.
Right.
You know, and I'm torn on, you know, even the Patriot Act. I think there are valid parts in the Patriot Act. I mean, I think, you know, quite frankly, if they're wiretapping someone who, you know, they stop a bomb from going off in the mall where my family shops every day, I'm not sure I'm against that. Now, but again, you know, what do we give up to get that security? I get that argument.
Right.
I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying I want to give up my freedoms, but I do believe that law enforcement and you know, here's the problem. Years ago, even 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't as hard to catch the bad guys because the technology wasn't there. You know, it's a lot easier to be a bad guy these days in some ways. You know, well, I mean, let's look at it. How many people get scammed from people 1,000 miles away anymore over the internet or over the phone? You know, you go back when I was in high school, I I didn't have credit cards, and I carried cash. If you wanted to steal my cash, you'd actually have to come and steal my cash.
Right.
So to some degree, obviously, the government and law enforcement, they have to change their tactics. The tactics they used 20, 30 years ago aren't going to work on the criminals of today.
Yeah.
Right.
But, again, it's with your red flag law. Where's the line? Where's the line when it's too much?
Well, if you're all watching, if you're all watching the video right now, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, you've obviously seen our Facebook page at the Heartland Defenders, and we posted an article up there about this, and our comment on it was, yeah, the see something, say something, yeah, that wasn't the end. That whole
Right.
Everybody remembers see something, say something. It was what, 3, 4, 5 years ago they started the see something, say something statement.
Well, was it? I think didn't they really kind of begin after 9/11?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't directly
A thing.
It wasn't see something, say something theme.
Right.
It really kind of started about 4 or 5 years ago, that the see something, say something. But, they really sold that as terrorism. See something, say something, terrorism. Well, these red flag laws are essentially just like the DHS's freaking, 2007 or 2008 threat assessment brochure stating that military veterans missing fingers and hoarding food more than 7 days and waterproof ammunition were basically homegrown terrorists. These red flag laws essentially make see something, say something, not something about actual bad criminal acts.
Right.
They have a gun. I mean, have you ever sat back and listened to police scanners or police reports or any of that? Do you know how many times the 911 line is called because a person has a gun on their hip, and they literally have to ask, are they waving it around?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Then they're not a threat.
Yeah. Why are you calling?
It's legal.
Right.
Ohio's one of the big proponents of that because Ohio's an open carry state.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many times do you think 911 gets a phone call because somebody's walking down the street with a freaking Glock on their hip?
Right. But he looks scary.
Yeah, exactly. But he looks scary. He's got a neck tattoo. He's wearing gold chains. He's got gold teeth.
No.
Who the fuck cares? Is he waving it in your face? Is he waving it around? Is he threatening another person? No. Then this isn't an emergency.
Right.
There was a video going around here.
The red flag law, how many times as a carrier, how many times as a concealed carrier have you adjusted your belt or had to pull your shirt over? What's the chances that a person who thinks a balloon popping is a gunshot,
No.
Right.
Yeah.
they believe they have PTSD because they went to the gun range once? The dude who fired an AR and now cries in the corner every night because of PTSD. What's the chances someone like that sees you adjust your belt or pull your shirt down and catches a glimpse of that firearm and thinks you're trying to do something?
No.
I mean, we've already established that the people on the other side of our conscious thought, the other side of the boat, are afraid of songs like "Baby It's Cold Outside" being associated with rape culture.
Did
So,
you see? Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, before we break into that one.
Before we run off the rails with that one.
Just
I'm about to go.
because they're so fearful of it, you adjust your position. There's a chance. I will say there's a chance that if it is not worded perfectly, they could call the law, and the law will then determine you are not fit to carry those firearms because someone thinks you are a threat.
Correct.
Oh, well, if you even look at the language of the few that are out there, they're so vague that, they leave law enforcement no choice, but it's almost a worse domestic violence type law.
Yeah.
I mean, I could scratch myself, call the cops, tell them my wife did it, and they've got to take her because I've got a mark.
Yeah.
I've seen a video that was posted online of a woman with a hammer hitting herself in the arm and in the head. And the other girl recording the video is like, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. They're going to prove that he didn't do it. I mean, it's people freaking lie.
Yeah. Oh,
period.
yeah.
People lie.
Right.
And if you're going to sit back and willingly set and say, I don't do anything wrong. I'm not a bad person. I don't pull my gun out in public. That's okay. Let's do this. Then you're literally shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Well,
because we can clearly prove without a shadow of a doubt that it's not the end. It is just another cog in the game. It's
right.
just another, to quote a song, it's just another brick in the wall.
Yeah. It is. I mean, that's the biggest problem. It doesn't stop. I mean, they've proven that time and time again. If you keep, the more you keep track, there's more and more laws being passed that affect legal gun owners rather than illegal gun owners.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, that's the crazy. Every politician you listen to, every speech, it's never about what are we going to do about taking the bad guy's gun away. We're just going to take everybody, or we're going to make it safe for everybody.
Yes.
Well, guess what?
Let's call it what it is.
The three of us have plenty of guns, and you know what? It's pretty safe in each one of our houses.
Yeah.
Let's say it what it is. Let's say it what it is, Mike. Let's say what it is. It is not laws to affect legal gun owners. It is laws to make legal gun owners illegal.
Yep.
Right.
Because that's what they're doing. New Jersey just did it. If you own a 11-round magazine, I know they don't exist. Trust me.
You're a felon.
But if you own an 11-round magazine, you are a felon.
Right.
And I even saw something that off-duty police officers are not allowed to carry their high-capacity mags, 30-rounders, for their ARs or their pistols when they're off-duty. If they do, they can be arrested.
Right.
So
That's
it's
insane.
not a game to make anybody safer. It is a game to make, and this is my opinion. If you're on here watching this and don't realize that what we do here on Tuesdays and Fridays is our opinion, then I am sorry. Please do not think we're anchors on the news.
No,
I clearly have a face for radio.
This is an opinion show, not a news show.
Thank you, Mike.
We like to educate you a little bit, but there's opinion in
them making anyone safer. It is not them making anyone safer.
No.
What it is the elites and the rich and powerful making themselves safer against the paupers and the poor who can actually defend themselves because of the way our founding fathers built our country on that paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, again, you keep going back to then, when is enough, and when is, that's the question. I mean, who wants to be, who and what and when wants to be that guy?
Mm-hmm.
When is it going to be enough, and who wants to fire that shot?
And the question doesn't have to be who's going to shoot the sound, who's going to shoot the round heard around the world the second.
Right.
That's not that doesn't have to be the question. The question needs to be that out of the 6 people watching us on Facebook, and I'm not even sure how
3.
many's watching us on YouTube.
3.
But out of the 9 total people watching us, and potentially the thousands that see our video, At what point do we come together? And at what point do we sit down at the table and decide that we're not going to take it anymore? That we're not going to elect people whose entire purpose in their life is to make themselves money and to tell us to go fuck ourselves. When are we going to sit down and say to each other that we care more about each other than we do about the way the government works with China or Japan or South or North Korea or Russia or anybody? When are we going to sit down as the American people, as we the people, and say that we the people are what is important?
Well,
where does that line show up?
Right. I mean, well, that's, we have to find, I think the problem is we keep looking for our candidates in the cesspool that politics has become.
That mill doesn't grind out good fucking corn.
No.
That mill grinds out a fucking dog turd and hopes to God maybe they'll do something good for the people.
Right. I mean, it's gonna. I mean, I think that's going to be, I think like Sheriff Higgins down in Louisiana. I think it's gonna take guys like that, and all over the country who are gonna finally say that, hey, I am we the people, and if there's nobody in my jurisdiction that's going to represent us and we the people, then I'm going to run and become that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think, I think that's where Tommy has it right. It's got to be grassroots. I think that's your first defense. We have to take back government and make it work for us the way it was intended to. We have to get people who are not going to, I like this part of the Constitution, but this part, I could do without it.
Well, if we're talking grassroots, then we have to figure out how we as the grassroots can get to even the low levels of government. You talk about a city mayor. You talk about you talk about the governor.
Well, wait a minute. Cortez has proven that anybody can get in freaking office. Okay?
Okay, you're right, but we have to state the facts here. Cortez has proven that anyone can get into a political position selling bullshit.
Well, yeah. So
I'm going to say this: that fucking district. That district has never seen the fucking snake oil salesman video. There was a video that I saw years ago. It was from the 40s or 50s about a snake oil salesman.
Agree or disagree? I mean, I know, people use this silent majority. Well, okay, if we are the silent majority, then there's a key part to there. Then we're the majority, right? If we're the majority, then why are we not electing candidates that represent us? Because if we're the majority, that means we've got the votes to get out there and get people that are going to represent us.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we re-electing a guy that's held position for more than a lot of our lifetimes?
Well, right, and that's how we got.
Why is it solely is the people putting check marks beside his name? Are they just so
name recognition
lacking in the thought process that they just can recognize his name? Oh, that guy, I know that name. Okay,
yeah.
I don't know this other name. I don't take enough time to actually fucking read anything, so I'm going to elect the guy I've heard his name 100 times.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it does happen. I think it's
that's sad.
It has happened because there's been guys that have been elected that are dead. But
it's sad.
Yeah.
Yep. That's sad. I'm sorry, it's sad.
We've become, the voting public on a large scale has become ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
I can't use retarded.
Do you want to use the word ignorant? Do you want to use the word ignorant, or would you rather use the word complacent?
No,
No,
ignorant.
You're kind of kicking people in the front butt here, calling them ignorant.
No, kick them straight in the balls
Complacency.
because they need to wake up because they are ignorant.
I don't think it's I don't think it's complacent. I think they're freaking ignorant.
Okay.
I mean, because if you believe in the Constitution and you believe in the way it was written, I mean, and that's like, let's go back. Let me step back for a second and explain why, I say this is where we should go. Our forefathers already laid it out. Okay, so we know that the Constitution isn't the problem. We know the way it's supposed to run isn't the problem. So if it's the system isn't the problem, then it's got to be the people we've put in the system to elect, represent us. That's the problem.
Because they're ignoring us.
Right. I mean, so that's where we have to get out there. We have to get out. The two-party system is done. If there's any hope for this country, the two-party system has to fall because it's not doing anything anymore. Because they're both just as bad.
I want to point something out to everybody viewing right now. You ready?
Go ahead.
You ready?
Sure.
Jeremy, Mike, and myself are not sitting in the same room, but we're discussing things.
Yeah.
None of you watching this video are in the same room with any of us having this discussion. So we don't have to have a physical table to have a discussion.
No.
So our elected representatives in this day and age don't physically have to sit in a freaking room to do their job. That's my opinion. I'm almost positive that these representatives that we elect would have a whole hell of a lot more to think about from us if they had to deal with and suffer in Detroit with everybody else, or in Harlem, or in the South Bronx,
East
or
side of
wherever
Cleveland.
the fuck they got elected from.
Right.
Cortez sitting in the 12th district in New York or whatever, sitting in her shitty ass apartment because there's no good apartments in her district because that's the way they roll in that district. She sure as shit would try her damnedest to make it a lot nicer if she had to stay there and do it through Skype and didn't get to go live in the prettiest fucking nation in the world, prettiest fucking town in the fucking world.
Yeah. Well, and now see those people. I think that's where you're right in the word complacent. People in those districts have become a lot of the people in those type of districts have become complacent. Those people are not ignorant. Those people have been brainwashed and fed the Democratic bullshit for so many years that it's just what's for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That's this is what's for dinner.
Have you guys ever heard the thought process that when you work with a guy, you and a guy get hired to a company, same day, go through training, same time, you both work your butts off, you decide to stay one of those wrench turning monkey frontline guys. He decides to step into management. He or she, I'm sorry, let me correct that statement. He or she decides to step into management. You ever noticed how people just kind of change a little bit when they step into that management role in big corporations?
Some do.
Some do.
And that's because crap rolls downhill.
I'm almost half inclined to believe that when people get elected to the higher political positions, they get handed the employee handbook and told to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in that employee handbook, there has to be a section that says, if you do this for these people, they'll pay you $500,000. If you do this for those people, they'll pay you $500,000. If you do this for these people, they'll pay you $250,000.
But hold on.
It's in my mind that it has to be that way, because it's amazing how these people just, they'll sell you a fucking line of shit out here, but as soon as they're elected, not a goddamn thing.
Yeah, but whose fault is that? But that still goes back to, it's our fault, because if we're not holding them accountable for the office we elected them to, then it's our fault. And you go back to the people who've been there for years and years and years and years. Well, obviously, the people in those districts are not holding them accountable, or the people in those states are not holding them accountable.
Well, then the question comes up is the question comes up is what
bullshit that we can't change it. This is just, hey, you've got either the Democrat to vote for or the Republican. Don't worry, that independent guy with all the good ideas, he'll never win. He can't do it. Don't worry about him.
But what? But you say the idea that we can't change it is the reason why we can't change it. But what can we do? But what can we do to change it?
You have to get out there and do what, like a guy like Higgins did. Higgins was just a cop. He was just a cop. But what he did is he got on TV anywhere. He went to people's houses. He went door to door in his neighborhoods. He went, anywhere and everywhere, whether it be, a independent station, or he went out there and said, listen, I'm one of you. I get it. I'm pissed off about the same shit you are. And I'm going to, you elect me, I'm going to be your person because I am you.
Now he's a sheriff, right?
Well,
I think he was a sheriff, yes.
Okay.
But I mean, that's how he now, only time will tell if he is he
still the sheriff?
No. He got elected.
Okay.
So he had to step
what did
down
he get elected to? I'm not following this line. What did he get elected to?
I believe it was the House.
Okay.
In Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was the Senate.
So maybe we have a Mr. Smith goes to Washington scenario going on?
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely more.
Okay, because Cortez is definitely not that.
No.
Well, she definitely went to Washington. I don't know if.
Did everybody catch the video of her like holding the camera right here, going, guys, they have secret tunnels underneath all these buildings. National security, what?
Yeah, right. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you.
Hey, why don't you just tell them about where they stick all the Congress and all the House?
We are live streaming C-SPAN.
Why don't you just tell all the foreigners that want to kill Americans where they put you guys in a really bad situation?
Yeah, and Jane, we're not ignoring you.
No.
I just keep thinking over.
No, she's not talking about us ignoring her. I've got it in my head because I want to hit on it. She's talking about our congressmen and senators ignoring us about us saying things, and yes, they do, because
yes,
Jane, it isn't about the other voices screaming louder. I can tell you for a fact that our state senator, House and Senate was ignoring us because we put down their email systems, both the House and the Senate, when House Bill 228 was in. That's how many emails they were getting. Everything got shut down, and they had to start calling in because you couldn't use the email system, and it was like 3 days that they couldn't use the email system. So that's how much emails they were getting from us about passing that with the freaking repeal retreat.
And that's right. And not to interrupt, Jeremy, but that's how you do it. The problem is that once these guys get to Washington or the state capitol, we no longer communicate with them until it's time to vote. As we the people, unless we are emailing, writing them, calling them, or show up at their damn office in Columbus.
And I'm telling you, it works. It does work. They hear you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop you right there, Jeremy.
Wow.
Because Ohio gun owners, it was Ohio gun owners.
Oh yeah.
Sent out an email to people that subscribe to their emails. And in their email was a link. You press that link, it went to your email server. It put everybody's of importance that needed to get that email.
Yep.
It was a pre-written email.
Yep.
All you had to do was, at least for me, all I had to do was take out the plus sign beside their names. Ohio gun owners, if you guys are watching this, when you do that, just make that plus sign go away so I don't have to fix everybody's email after the first one. But you fixed everybody's email, and then you put your signature at the bottom.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's that easy.
Hit send, and then sent an in-depth email that explained this. Everybody was sending the same email. Pass this law, pass this law, pass this law. Now, why I got to stop you on that is, as we're sitting here right now, first and foremost, they gutted the fucking 128 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They took out the stand your ground stuff. Thank you, allegedly, to Jim Irvine. And then secondly, we shut down their email servers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What'd they do today? Or what'd they do in the last couple of days?
Oh, yeah, they added it and then repealed it again. So, yeah.
Fucking killed it again. They killed it completely.
But that's what they're counting on.
Just didn't say that just sending those emails, just sending the emails, just showing up at their office, just saying you have a voice is going to change it. Clearly, they don't give enough of a shit. Because if that many people shut their system down for 3 days to get it passed, and they didn't do it, if that many people shut their system down for 3 days and they killed it the second chance around, just voting them out doesn't mean anything to them. They've already made their money. They don't care anymore.
But the problem is the way they did it, though. You don't know who to vote out because they did it behind back closed doors.
Right, but you're saying then, but see, you're going back to, but if you don't hold those people accountable, but every time, it's great to get excited once or twice, but that isn't going to change them. You have to do it every time. You have to be at everything. And if you aren't there, then other people have to be there.
Right.
Then where I'm.
But you're saying if you're saying that, then you're saying that the system doesn't work. But the system does work.
And it did work because
fathers used it for a long, long time.
And it did work.
And many after.
It did work because of they weren't even going to put that into 142. The only reason they did was so that they could try to save face by saying we tried to pass it before the end of the year, but we didn't have enough time. And that's what they were trying to do by putting it back into 142 because they got such bad backlash for taking out a 228. And that's why they did it, is so that the senators that were involved could be like, well, we tried, and, Buckeye Firearms could be like, we really tried to push it back in. We just didn't have enough time. We ran out of time. We have to wait till next year now. And then I feel like a Browns fan all over again.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, that's a perfect example. I've been one since, for more years than I care to announce on here. But I'm still there, and I'm still fighting. I still believe, and it's the same thing with, let's be honest. If we didn't care, if we were ready for a revolution and we were ready to just say fuck it and let's go, then we wouldn't be on here arguing about it or talking about it or discussing it, because that means that we've decided you can't do anything about it. The system can't be fixed.
Right.
So obviously, to some degree, we all believe that the system can be fixed.
First thing we need to do is remove lobbyists and make lobbying illegal.
Right. I mean, you have to keep trying. I mean, if it comes to a point where they try and, they just try and completely get rid of the Constitution, or, in way of our personal rights.
That's a line. That's a line. That's a line.
No, of course.
That's the line.
That's a line.
A line.
That's a line.
And I'm sure there's people on here that are going to go, well, they're already there. Yes. They are.
They're taking little minute baby steps, though, to make everybody go, well.
But you know what?
Take a bite.
2 years ago, were we doing this?
No.
No, because as the more they try and fight us, the more and louder we get on everywhere and anywhere we can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, groups like us are popping up everywhere, you know, and you know what? We are who we are. You know, we're constant. You know, we believe in the Constitution. We're preparing. You know, whether it be for whatever, you know, we're preparing for it.
Mm-hmm.
On a side note, has everybody seen? On a side note, has everybody seen? Throw a thumbs up on the YouTube. Throw a thumbs up if you can on the Facebook. Has everybody seen the liberal prepper video?
Oh, that was freaking amazing, dude.
No,
Oh my
I
God.
have not seen it. Oh,
I don't own guns, but I have a katana.
Oh, dude. Oh, Jeremy, I'll have to find that and give that to you.
Oh God,
Wow.
we'll have to share that out on the
Oh,
Heartland page.
Freaking hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Guys, that guy made me.
Goes on the-
Well, all you gotta do is spin in a 360 circle and like a tornado, and it will draw your enemies in.
Yeah, right,
The anchor lady goes back to a prepper, a conservative Republican, whatever you want to call it, prepper, and she goes, "Well, have you ever seen a katana?" And she starts to
Bang,
unsheath,
you're dead.
and he goes, "Bang, you're dead." And she goes, "But wait, I haven't." And she does something else with it, and he goes, "Bang, you're dead." She's like, "Seriously?"
Oh, God.
This was
Yeah,
the
it's
what was
from
it,
the- it's from the Daily
$5,000? The $5,000 prepper bag?
Oh, yeah, the
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I got that hand crank radio right there.
That was like $8, and yeah.
Oh,
Hey, that $5,000. That the $3,000 of that $5,000 was the bottle of wine.
Oh, yeah.
it was. Oh, I'm telling you, if you haven't, I've got it on my feed somewhere.
Okay.
It's from the Daily Show. It's
It
hilarious.
will be shared. I will find it and we will
Yes.
share it tonight.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes
Yeah.
on the Heartland page.
Just on Facebook, it should be under the Liberal Prepper. Oh,
Okay.
you have to watch it. It's freaking.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Michelle's asking for it on Facebook, too, so.
Yeah, we will get it up there for you tonight.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a good one.
No,
It's
that's
good.
funny.
But yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, I just don't think. You know, I don't think we're there yet. I mean, I really just don't. I mean, you know, there's too many good people in this country to be there yet. There's too many of us fighting every day to make sure that our rights don't get taken away.
Mhm.
And I don't think so. I don't think we're there yet. Do I think people should prepare? Do I think people should join groups? If you're watching this, you know, if you're not a part of a group, I will join one.
Yeah, if you're not in Ohio, find one. If you
Find
are in Ohio, come check us out.
Yeah, I mean, if
Story.
nothing else, to be around, you know, to do the things we want to do, which are goals of mine as the state lead of this organization. You know, I want us to get involved with that kind of stuff more. We need to get involved with that because otherwise, everything else we do, you know, there's no point in doing it.
Right.
We have to save this country. We have to save the Constitution. We have to fight for it. We have to defend it. And if someday that means really defending it, you know, by violent means, then you know, I think as an American, you have to be prepared for that too. I just think you do. I think the times have shown us that, you know, history can repeat itself.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to be prepared for, you know, a major event. I mean, get prepared for if something happens and you get laid off. I mean, that extra food you're
Agreed.
preparing for.
Right. Which is a valid point.
guys.
Oh, are we making too much sense?
So I just went to the Facebook
Oh, he found it.
Oh,
and I went searching for the liberal prepper,
Yes.
oh boy.
and it didn't find the video.
Oh,
No.
there's more than one.
It found a freaking group.
Oh no!
3.7 thousand people. 10 plus posts in the last day.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get my katana and join.
Is this the liberal preppers?
The Liberal Prepper is a group of like-minded individuals with similar goals of preparedness. We're about survival and...
Oh, no.
Survival and... I think I should join. What do you think?
I think we should join. I think we should definitely hook up somewhere.
But there's another group called Prepping for Liberals.
Do they tell
There's
me they have
1.1
Ohio
thousand
chapters?
members to that group. This is a group
There's an
for
Ohio
preppers who also happen to be liberal. We follow and enforce these rules.
Uh-oh.
Don't be a dick.
Well, then they're liberals. They're already all out.
Oh, hold on. I got to read the rest of that. Because it says, don't be a dick, ... conservative.
I get it.
Don't be a dick. Conservative and right-wing radical is not appropriate here. Or, I'm sorry, rhetoric, not radical. Rhetoric is not appropriate here. You may not post anything that encourages or incites violence or threatens violence in any way. Terroristic threats are taken very seriously. Gun discussion is permitted. Gun politics discussions is not permitted.
What?
No bigotry, slurs, harassment, or bullying.
How can you not talk about what?
Wait a minute.
Promotional posts that benefit you or your family / friend member must be pre-approved by a moderator and labeled approved permission.
Could you see if they'll boost our post?
Yeah, I love how it's gun discussion is permitted, but gun politics discussion is not permitted. So here's how you use a gun.
That.
No trolling on or off board with other members.
Oh,
Trolls are blocked without a warning.
I am so trolling that place.
Wait for it. This one's good.
It won't be.
Privacy is key in prepping. Don't share information, screenshots, or names with anyone. What happens here stays here. These rules are subject to change at any time.
Oh, God.
For more information on these rules, check our files.
Wow.
I feel my brain hurting already.
It won't be the first group I get kicked out of and banned from.
Now I gotta go back to the other one.
Well, the problem is I know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna do exactly what every online group that has those kind of rules does. They're gonna come to my Facebook page, be pissed because they can't see my Facebook page because I'm not friends with them. And then when I open up my Facebook page long enough for them to see it, they're gonna deny me because they're gonna see all the shit I got on my Facebook page that breaks those rules already.
Yes.
The political gun conversations on my Facebook page, everything.
Yes. Yes.
The other one's a little more in depth. I mean, at least they know how to spell because they spelled out RESPECT exclamation point.
Oh Lord.
Respect is earned.
We'll have to go through. You know what? That's a show we got to do where we just go through some of these liberal prepping groups and just.
Oh no, we've got to invite somebody on.
But what's sad about it is there's 3,720 members to this group.
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, there's how many elected Cortez?
But case in point, 0 new members in the last 30 days.
Yeah, Michelle's got a good point, though. Those people are going to have sorely disappointed if they ever encounter reality.
Yes.
Oh, dude, goodness. This is not even bad. So now, dude, I'm screwing my Facebook all up. My Facebook's like, but wait, you're an ultra conservative. Why are you looking at this? Right now on the right-hand side, I have liberal prepping and homestead survival. I have a group for liberal preppers, a whole nother group, only 627 members. Liberal gun owners. That's a good one.
Oh, they're out there. They're out there.
Prepping for liberals. Liberal prepper and homesteading book club.
Oh boy, a book club.
Wait a minute, homesteading book.
Yep.
Wow.
Prepping and homesteading book club.
Well, you know what? Isn't it? Wait, let me go back to liberal gun owners. Isn't that the big? Because how can you, if you own guns, you might be a Democrat, but you can't be liberal. You can't be liberal because liberals don't want anybody to have a gun. So how can you be a liberal?
Yeah, this is true.
Jeremy, I'm going to be sending you a picture.
Oh boy, where are you sending this? Facebook? Oh boy, I'm concerned now.
I absolutely admit. What was Jane? Take him to the showers. What?
What? Oh, probably the liberal prepping group.
Ah.
Wow. Did you send it?
All right, children.
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Oh,
Stand by.
boy.
Hurry up. We're already at a quarter after.
Yeah.
Oh, calm
What the hell?
your shit. We've still got plenty of viewers. They'll
Hold
get a
on
kick
here.
out of this one.
We got the same freaking viewers we started with.
So I figured I'd end out with a good ending picture for us, and I'll give a sneak preview just because we're waiting on him, so everybody can get what our leaving for the day will be.
Oh, I gotta wait a second till it comes back.
Yeah, Facebook.
Wait
Facebook's
for
way
it.
behind. Wow.
Nice.
Aw.
True story.
Oh.
Is that in the homesteading book club or?
That may be the
No.
homesteading book club.
That was
I-
one of them I
I'm-
posted about 3 hours ago on my feed. So if you like good
Nice.
humor, come over to me, and then go like our Facebook page too, and follow and share and.
Absolutely. There are some, and there will be a lot more discussion like this, and there will be some changes coming.
Yes.
So try and keep up with us, and check out our page. I've
Which, by the
I'm
way, have
hoping
you
to
heard
make
anything
some
back yet,
serious
Jacob?
Back about.
Your interview.
We're not going to talk about that here.
Okay. Oh boy.
Hell.
It's coming to you on Facebook, brother. I'm just trying to get to you.
Let's see.
All
they're
right,
going
yeah. I
to
mean,
be
what
hit
the
up by
hell? You like drawing this out, or?
I have to go find Jeremy's Facebook page, and I'm streaming through this damn service, so my computer's taking me some time.
Wait. Oh.
Wait, what's Michelle?
Yeah.
Michelle's been very chatty tonight.
And I tried to open Discord, so that was taking its time behind back.
Oh.
Nice. Huh?
Where's it at?
I'm getting there, damn it. You
Oh.
calm down. Just calm down.
Man. If I was your IT
Facebook-
guy, I'd be
the
like,
Facebook is
"Move."
running slow for me right now. Calm down.
yourself. Calm yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Everything running at the same time drives you crazy. That's why I got 2 computers.
Oh my God. It's like, wait, but you're trying to stream a video. Stop doing whatever else you're doing. Stop it now.
True story.
That's why I had to build my own giant ass tower to do it.
Oh yeah, I know. The first time I showed my wife, she's like, "Oh, good lord."
Oh.
Do you think Jeremy could do that? I'm like, no, he couldn't do it for you. Not a chance in hell.
Not with Apple. I ain't touching shit with Apple.
Oh, dude,
True story.
She would buy all new shit just for you. Trust me.
Yeah.
But it ain't happening.
Hey, it was definitely, it took some time to build this up. Believe me.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
My command center, cockpit, whatever everybody calls it. My one friend comes over and humps my desk every time he comes over.
Just start charging for that.
I know, right? It's like, just let people line up at the door, you know, whatever.
Put a tip jar out or something.
Man, that got lucky.
They have to put the money in the jar beforehand.
It's in your messenger, Jeremy.
Oh boy, hang on here.
Hold on, he's got to pick
I
a screen.
gotta adjust it now.
Pick a screen, any screen.
Yeah, hang on here.
You're gonna love it, man.
I see it already.
I think it's great.
It's
Hold on,
wasn't that their headline or their main picture or up above?
Yes, that's their header picture. I'm grabbing the liberal preppers gear right now.
Okay, so here, everybody. Here's what he sent me.
I'm getting it. Getting their gear. Hold on.
Wait, here's their gear. It's sprinkles.
Sprinkles? And where's mine at? I think mine's in here somewhere. Nope.
See, I have the liberals gear.
No.
See here?
Oh, nope.
Oh, it's one of the... Nice.
Yeah, no, mine's not here. Dang it.
Nice.
Hang on. Let me transition over so people
See,
can
I
see.
mean, it's in the picture.
Yeah.
More, you know, that looks more homesteady to me.
Yeah. I thought this was my my liberal gear, but it's not.
Oh, are those under 10 rounds, sir?
See, this
I'm
is the
not
worst
New
part.
Jersey. I don't care.
This is the only part of Battle Box this is the only part of that Battle Box I don't like. Kind of the small side.
What is that, child size?
Yeah, so my kids are safe.
But the guy that's got to
Take
protect
them
them
out,
has got to
boss.
die. He's got to get a bigger one or die.
That's overrated.
Yeah, I don't even know where mine's at. I must have
Oxygen,
thrown
fuck
something.
that shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
Who needs that?
All
That's why
right.
it stays out here in the room.
Oh, but yeah. So that's funny. That is.
I think we should close on that one, not the owning a bike.
Oh, okay. I might be able to do that.
I think that's our closing.
People are gonna be like, "What in the hell?"
Oh, dude, if that's
Get them
if
some
that's
publicity, man.
shot for the video, that
Yeah.
would almost be perfect.
Oh, and by the way, I want to thank everybody for you know, not making me have to wear Speedo. I appreciate you.
Sorry, guys. Unless something really big happens in the next few fucking hours, shit ain't happening.
No Speedo. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for, you know, not making that go on the internet.
But still, please like, follow, share.
Yes, please.
The above, all the above.
Follow, share, subscribe, hit the little dinger button. So
I know
that,
for a fact that everybody watching this video knows somebody else.
Oh, of course.
Got to be at least one.
At least one other person.
At least one.
Yeah,
That
but-
likes it.
If we can make you laugh that hard that you come back every freaking Friday, every Tuesday,
Better you
to
need
watch
to-
us talk about our opinions, pretty sure your friends might get a kick out of it too. So let them know that we exist. Maybe we can have that round the table discussion right here. We'll finally come to a consensus of when we need to actually change something.
Yeah.
And tune in. We're going to bring on one of the liberal preppers.
And Michelle, that's a terms of service violation. So yes, those are not allowed on video. And if you are not on Facebook, you can go check out what she said because I'm not repeating it.
What? Wait. Oh, yes.
True, Michelle.
Oh,
Closest, I'm gonna have to say the closest thing I got's a flashlight.
yeah, they make other things that kind of rhyme with that.
A knife
Ow. Oh.
Yeah.
and a bullet.
Oh, yeah.
The bullet is one, technically.
Terms of service. Yeah.
Fuck them.
That's why I left mine in the casing, but or in the little pouch and everything.
God, did I scare Facebook again?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
But
they'll
all
get
right,
over it.
everybody. Well, thank you definitely for your guys' time for coming and watching us.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget your stuff. Like, share, follow.
Yeah.
We should be live again Tuesday for we'll do it live, and any announcements for any changes will be done when we know the changes as well. So
guys, if you guys can do me a favor, if everybody watching can do me a favor and hit our Facebook page up, don't be afraid to not just only share the videos, but share everything we post. We've actually got it posting up there right now.
Yes.
A gentleman that's 97 years old out of Port Clinton, Ohio, that served during World War II and is kind of upset that he's not getting any Christmas cards. All his information's there. If one, you could pick up a 25-cent, 50-cent Christmas card, write a little thank you and a little holiday greeting into it and ship it off, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But two, if you can share that out to your friends and your people that you know, that'll help him out a lot as well. So don't be afraid to hit the share button on just about anything and everything that we send out.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. Please.
Yes, definitely. And thank you. And go to our Facebook page, or no, our web page. Facebook page, you're probably already viewing if you're not on YouTube. But go to our webpage, heartlanddefenders.com. I don't know why that's so hard for me to remember sometimes. And if we're still doing our food drive. If you want to donate money to the food drive, definitely please throw some money in there. Market Food Drive. We'll buy some cans or some. We'll buy something for whatever food drive and district.
Or we'll hand them cash.
Hey, well, they like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
do more with that than they can with a can of food.
Yes. So then check out your food drives if you have some local in the area. Check them out as well and help them out for this holiday season. But thank you guys very much for your time. Again, Jacob, Mike, thank you for your time and coming in again.
Thank you, sir.
And we will see you guys again later.